On the outside, I wore confidence like it was stitched into my skin. Smiles, swagger, jokes to keep it light, titles to prove I was somebody. I had the look, the presence, the accolades, the kind of success people clap for. And I'll be honest, I played the part so well I almost had me convinced, but deep down, I was overdrafted in the places that really mattered. Emotionally, I was bankrupt. Mentally, I was drowning. Spiritually, I felt disconnected. While the world saw success, I was silently unraveling behind the scenes, exhausted from performing, pretending, and chasing standards that were never mine to begin with. I wasn't living, I was maintaining an image, and every smile was a mask, every win a distraction, every title just another layer over my truth. I had money in the bank, but emptiness in my chest. Rooms full of people, but loneliness that echoed louder than applause. Everything to show, but nothing that felt like peace. That kind of success, it looks good in photos, but it starves the soul. Not good enough, not tall enough, not rich enough, not smart enough, not enough, period. And maybe, just maybe, that's what lit the fire under my relentless pursuit of happiness. Except back then, I didn't really know what happiness was. I thought it was something you could wear, post, or prove. I thought if I looked successful, I'd feel it. Spoiler alert, I didn't. There was a time, not too long ago, when I believed that having more meant being more. So I chased things, titles, checks, people, validation, even peace in places that had never known stillness. I thought the grind would save me, that stacking more would fill me. But the truth? That version of more was a lie, a trap. It didn't add value, it took it. It weighed me down, made life heavy, complicated, exhausting. But when I finally let go of the chase, when I stopped sprinting toward what never truly saw me, that freedom, it hit different. It didn't come with applause, it came in silence, in exhaling, in finally understanding that peace isn't found, it's chosen. And I had to choose it again and again, every day. See my gifts? They're not for show. They're not trophies. They're assignments. They were never meant to glorify me. They were meant to serve others, to heal, to reach, to light a path for someone else by walking mine with authenticity. But it took work to get there. The kind of work no one claps for, the internal stuff, the slow, soul-heavy, get naked with yourself kind of work. I had to dig into all the parts I tried to bury, the pain I dressed up, the trauma I laughed through, the silent screams I silenced for years. I had to stop lying to myself about being fine when really I was fractured. So I slowed down. I got still. And that's when the healing began. I faced the chapters I never wanted to reread. The heartbreaks, the losses, the nights I didn't want to wake up. The versions of me that settled, that shrank, that doubted their worth. And instead of judging myself, I finally held myself, gave myself the grace I'd given everyone else. Because every setback, it wasn't the end, it was a setup. Every detour carried divine direction, every scar became sacred wisdom. Now I protect my peace like it's sacred, because it is. I've become intentional with my energy. Everyone doesn't deserve access. Everyone's love isn't safe. And not everyone can handle your healing. Some folks love you better broken. Some only cheer when you're crawling, not when you're climbing. But I'm not shrinking. I'm not pausing. And I'm definitely not staying stuck. I've come too far. I've shed too much. Standing still is no longer an option when I know I've been called to move mountains. And now, my giving, my compassion, it's not rooted in needing to be accepted. It's not about proving I'm enough. It comes from a deeper place now, a healed place. I give because I get it. I remember what it feels like to feel unseen, unheard, unworthy. I remember what one kind word did for me on the darkest day. I remember how the smallest light can change a whole room. So every act of kindness I offer, every word of encouragement I give, it's intentional. It's a spark, a light I hope catches fire in someone else's darkness. Because we don't need more critics, we need more healers. more reminders that humanity still exists, more light. And I didn't arrive at this truth overnight. It was the little things that brought me here, the people who loved me when they didn't have to, the grace that found me when I didn't know how to ask for it, the strangers who planted seeds of worth in a soul that was starving for it. And those seeds, they grew, slowly, but they grew. Which brings me to this. See, what I want you to know, and I can't say for sure if it would have changed the outcome, but those conversations I never had growing up, the ones about being worthy, about being enough just as I am, about being loved unconditionally, their absence shaped me, made me a prisoner of certain beliefs that whispered I had to earn love, that perfection was the price of acceptance. But I've learned to forgive those silences. I've learned to give myself what no one else knew how to give me. And now, I'm breaking that cycle. I may not have heard those words growing up, but I make sure my sons and my grandson hear them from me over and over and over again. You are worthy. You are enough. You don't have to earn love. You don't have to hustle to matter. Feel deeply. Cry if you need to. Stand tall. Walk in purpose. And never confuse vulnerability with weakness, because feeling fully, that's real strength. That's what our communities have been missing. Not more toughness, more tenderness, more truth, more men who aren't afraid to heal out loud, who aren't afraid to feel, to lead with heart instead of hardness. The streets and the media tried to redefine manhood, but we're rewriting that narrative. And it starts here, with compassion, with honesty, with forgiveness, with reminding ourselves that healing isn't a destination, it's a daily decision. So yeah, I've got some scars, but I wear them now with pride, because they're not proof of my pain, they're proof of my perseverance. I didn't just survive, I became, and let me tell you, becoming, that hits different. It's not just a chapter, it's a whole new language, a new lens, the kind of shift that makes the air feel lighter, the sky look bluer, the laughter more honest. Because when you stop running from your past and start running toward your purpose, that's when life starts to breathe back into you. That's when peace becomes more than a concept, it becomes a companion. That's when you wake up and feel, not the weight of proving, but the joy of just being. The noise that used to drown me, it's quiet now. The pressure to perform, gone. The ache for validation, healed. What I carry now is clarity. What I feel now is freedom. And what I know now is that becoming isn't about perfection, it's about permission. Permission to grow, to rest, to feel, to rise, to rebuild, to be whole and holy at the same time. I look at life differently now. I don't see it as something I have to conquer. I see it as something I get to experience. With softness, with strength, with truth. And this writing right here, it ain't a sympathy grab. It's not some warrior cry either. This is a man being honest, a man healing, a man confronting both his past and his present, searching for that one sacred moment where he can finally exhale fully. Because if I'm real, and I have to be, the fear of not being accepted, the kind that's been living rent-free in me since childhood, still knocks at the door sometimes. That fear, it used to run the show, but not anymore. Now, I'm healing on purpose, even if I have to release it all in paragraphs, in chapters, in a whole series of books. So be it. I'll write my way free if I have to. I'll speak life into my own scars. I'll carve out a path that honors my mental, emotional, and spiritual peace, because I've learned the hard way. Unhealed pain becomes hypocrisy, and I refuse to be a contradiction to the people I love, the ones I mentor, or the ones I helped bring into this world. They deserve my truth, my transparency, my full presence, not just my performance. And the best part, I'm not chasing happiness anymore. I am happiness, I am light, and I am enough. Not because the world said so, because I finally said it to myself and believed it.